obviously just got to make sure everything works, though, right? Obviously just got to make sure everything works. Okay, well, audio sounds good. All right, guys, welcome back to the part 2 of the Madden 23 Rebuilding the Browns live stream. It's your boy Malin. Last episode, so yeah, we actually won the Super Bowl. Yes, and listen, I know what you're thinking. How can you call this a rebuild if you won the Super Bowl in your first season? Well, this team was already set with some pretty good talent in the first year of this franchise rebuild that I started for the start of the 22 season. I mean, this roster starting out, we had Deshaun Watson, and we have a good running back in Nick Chubb. And you know, when I really think of a rebuild with this team, I'm really thinking more about how we maintain the success since we were a good team last season that won a championship, and now we got to prove something, and we got to prove that we can repeat as champions. But it's going to be harder to do that in this season or even maybe the next season because we are in salary cap hell. And I want to show you guys another thing. And this is another part of the rebuild that I'm also trying to do. You know, with this rebuild, it's kind of about taking a little bit of success, a team that has talent, but also could still use some help. Because I'm going to show you the salary situation right now, and it's not good. We only have $2.9 million in cap space. That's not very good. And look at these contracts. Myles Garrett, 7 years, and he's still got 4 years left on his deal. Denzel Ward, great corner, 5 years left on his deal. Deshaun Watson has 4 years left on his contract, and he still hasn't jumped up to he's only a 79 overall. And I know last season we won a championship with him, but still, that's a lot of years to be tied into a quarterback that's not even in the 80s, if you ask me. Now, I know it has to deal with the fact that when the Texans, when the Browns traded for him from the Texans, they were eating up a lot of his contract that was a very, very long-term contract. So they couldn't just, get rid of him. So it made things pretty difficult. But something that we're going to have to do is that we got to create some room somehow. And at the end of the last live stream, I tried to see if I could trade Peoples-Jones, our second best receiver, but it really wasn't working out. Part of me is debating if I can just release him and not endure a cap penalty. Let's see if we can do that. But incur a penalty of, but I don't want to get a penalty. I don't want to get a cap penalty of any kind. Now, another player that I'm thinking is like, look, I know that we brought Kareem Hunt back on the franchise tag, but that's taking up some space, and I want to see if we can cut him. Yeah, we're going to get a penalty for that. So you know what? Let's try to go ahead and trade away Kareem Hunt. I'm pretty sure there are teams out there that could use another running back. Our running back room is pretty good even if we trade Hunt to another team, because we still got Nick Chubb, and we got D'Ernest Johnson, I believe, is still our other running back, so we could still use that. But what team out there, if any team, needs a running back? My guess is not very many would. And I don't want to trade Hunt in the division, so trying to kind of see if we can unload this franchise tag and this contract on somebody else. But no team really needs a running back, but I think that there's got to be some team out there that could use one. Maybe the Cardinals. Let me see if I can get maybe a pick from these guys. Who's their starting running back? His name's Connor. Okay, well, Connor is a solid back, but they could probably use some other help. So let me see if I can maybe get a second-round pick for Hunt. This trade will put the other team over the salary cap. Try a different offer. Okay, well, maybe we could take away a player for depth, because we could use maybe, what about maybe a defensive end? Maybe we can take a defensive end off their hands. J.J. Watt's still playing. Maybe we could trade him. Trade for him. Let's see. Put your team over the salary cap except to try making a different offer. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be pretty hard to do, because let me see if I can find another team that isn't in salary cap hell like us, because this is not a common thing with just the team that I'm controlling right now. It's a common thing in Madden in general in the first year, because, okay, so the Washington Commanders have $15 million in cap room. So basically, we can probably afford to make a trade. I know that I'm giving them firepower because they still have Robinson Jr., Antonio Gibson. So I'm going to make their running back room pretty stacked with trading. So let me see if a second-round pick will... You know what? Let me go ahead and go balls to the wall for the first round and see if they'll take that. Trade declined. Okay, well, second rounder may be the best that we'll be able to do with these guys. And it looks like, I mean, and Washington, I think, has the cap space, so hopefully they can take this. Trade decline. We don't feel we could afford a player at position right now. Okay, well, dang it. Maybe we could... Maybe a third rounder. I hate to lowball like this, but maybe a third rounder would do it. We might just have to look for another team. Okay, so I think Washington's out. What team doesn't have like salary cap problems? The Eagles have $29 million. Okay. They probably don't have a solid running back right now. We'll scratch that. They got Miles Sanders still in there. But they're not in cap hell, so... You know, maybe we could still find a way to trade. Maybe get a pick from them. Let's see what they say. We don't feel we could afford to move a player at... Oh, player at... Man, that's just brutal. We may just have to straight up cut Chubb. Or no, Hunt. Golly. Okay, let me just kind of look at this a little bit. Eagles feedback. Player has a high overall. Eagles feedback. Good value for a draft pick. Browns, we don't feel we could afford to move a player at that position right now. Why? I'm not really sure what the logic is here. So my guess is that we just can't trade Hunt. Like, he's untradeable or something like that. So you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to cut him. See if we can get any space. It'll incur a penalty of, you know what, well, we're just going to have to take it. You have freed... Okay, well, let's just see how much space that gives us. My guess is probably not very much, but I probably shouldn't have tried to bring him back on the franchise tag, but you know what, I tried just to make it work, try to run it back. So let me see what that does with us right now. What does that really do with us, if anything? So it gives us now $8.95 million in cap space. So that's not too bad. So we get some cap room to do more stuff. But I'm really looking at guys that are on the last year of their deal. But John Johnson is our starting safety. I'm not going to get rid of him. The reason I felt like Hunt was expendable is because we got Nick Chubb still. And Peoples-Jones to me still seems like a guy that we could still... I still want to see if we could try to trade him. I really think we can probably trade Peoples-Jones. And I know that, and we have Amari Cooper, and Jakeem Grant is kind of, you know, on the rise in terms of overall. So part of me is thinking that we could still find a way to, let me see what the Bears receiving core is looking like. I really want to kind of look at receiving cores and see, like, who could use any receivers at all. Receivers are looking pretty good all across the league. No team really needs one, but, I mean, the Chargers could probably use one. Let's try the Chargers again. We traded with them last year for that offensive lineman. Let's see. Let's try the second round pick. Let's see what that does. Oh, we don't feel the offer brings enough value competitive what we've given up. Okay, so you know what? We're just gonna we're gonna go third rounder. Let's go third round. What do they do? Don't feel we can afford to move a player at the position right now. Okay, well, it looks like this could be another releasing option. So it looks like we're going to get another penalty for getting rid of Peoples-Jones, but we're in a point where we're in cap hell, and we got to do something. Cap space, but incur a penalty. Okay, so we don't get too big of a penalty for releasing Peoples-Jones. That's fine. Hold on a second. You cannot release Peoples-Jones. It will put your team below the minimum roster size. Okay, all right. Well, you know what? Let's come back to this. So our roster is only at 46 guys, and we just need to get we just need to go into free agency and let's just get a bunch of free agents to get to 53, because that's what we really need to do. What I really want to do is just be able to fill up this roster in order to get just fill some needs, because right now we don't have players that even can really back things up. So let's go to practice squad eligible players. Maybe see, no, let's just go to all. We could use a third quarterback, somebody to bring in as a camp arm, but I don't want somebody that's really going to break the bank. Do any of these guys even fit our scheme? Probably not. All right, let's go ahead and bring in, maybe we can bring in Rosenthal, the guy from Temple. I don't know. Let's see. Who's like the best? Okay, well, let's Taysom Hill, Taylor, Stick, Mullins, Rudolph, Harden, Jeff Driscoll. Let's just bring in Colt McCoy on a 1-year deal if we can. Okay, so we have another quarterback. He's 57 overall, but then again, he's third string for a reason. You know what? We could use a fullback just to fill up the roster. Let's bring in Blossingame on a 1-year deal, and let's see if we can do that. Okay, so cool. We have a fullback. So now we have, but I still want to get up to 53. Let's see if we can maybe sign another receiver. Olame Zacchaeus. He fits our scheme. Can we bring him in on a 1-year deal? Let's do that. Okay, all right. So we need depth also probably at safety. Let's bring in Nick Scott. 1.85. So yeah, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Let me go to the roster once again and see like what positions we just flat out do not have any depth at, because that's kind of what I'm doing with all these moves. I'm trying to see how much depth we really have at these different positions, because right now we really don't have much. And I mean, even Colt McCoy at 57 overall is higher rated than our last pick that we took in Colt Gore. So yeah, I mean, our running backs room is pretty okay. Felton is coming into his third year in the league from UCLA, 72 overall. I'm okay with him being the future. And we got Blossingame, a new fullback, so we actually have a fullback. And because we're basically getting rid of Peoples-Jones, I feel like bringing in Olame Zacchaeus is a decent option because he fits our scheme and he's 75 overall. So we're not gonna. So he's basically taking over as our number 2 receiver once we get rid of Peoples-Jones. Tight ends are good. Left tackle's good. Left guard's good. We only have one center. That's probably, we could use another center and a right guard. Let's see if we can get at least 2 of those guys. We only have, our outside linebacking situation is pretty good. We signed another safety, Nick Scott, to back up John Johnson. So we're good there. Okay, so let's go get a center and a right guard, just to get 2 at those positions at least. We have to do that. Let's go back to the free agent pool and see who we can pick up. Let's do that. Okay, so, and these guys are going to be on the cheap, so we don't have to break the bank for these guys. That's why you wait till kind of, the end of time. Austin Reeder, let's go ahead and bring him in, 67 overall. That's not bad. I don't know if we can afford this. Can we? Yeah. Must free. Yeah. Okay. All right. So before we do that, let's get rid of Peoples-Jones. Let's go ahead and release him so we can get some depth. We need some depth, and, just need to be able to, let's go back to team salaries. So obviously we are dealing with, so let's see what the salary cap is. Yeah, we only have 450K, which is not very good at all. All right, Peoples-Jones. Thank you for helping us deliver a Super Bowl, but we're in cap hell. We're going to release you. Has been released, freed. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see where that puts us. So we only have 1.46 million in cap space. So we didn't free up much, but it might have freed up just enough for us to get to get Reeder at center. So let's see if we can now bring him in and help out our depth situation here. The season after this one may be better, just due to the fact that we do that. All right. So we got another center and Reader. And basically, that pretty much doesn't even put us at 53. So I'm going to double check and see maybe if there's at least one other player we can cut ties with to free up some cap space before the season. You know, cap casualties are tough, but you got to do what you got to do. Willis may no. Delpit is. I think he's our starter. Is he? Is he our starting safety? I gotta check that. Because I don't think he is. If he's not, then I think he's definitely expendable. I know that John Johnson is one of our starting safeties. But how about Delpit? Okay, Delpit is our starter. Ronnie Harrison Jr. Is a guy that we brought back. That's the guy that we signed. So yeah, so we're not gonna cut Delpit. Even though he's 79 overall, we're just going to probably let him walk this season after this season in free agency at the end of the year. So we're just going to let that happen. Let me go back to the list. So there's Delpit. You know, Graham, but we just signed him. I'm not going to get rid of him. Yeah, we're not getting rid of you either. We just signed you. Blossom Game, we just signed you, and we also signed you as well, Nick Scott. But he probably won't free up a lot of cap space. Getting rid of him would probably just, penalties 0. I don't know if I just want to cut Felton. He's our second best running back. What guys can we get rid of without a penalty? You know what? This Ford guy is at the bottom of the list. Let's go ahead and cut him. It's not going to free up a lot of room, but Ford is the final running back on our roster. So I'm going to kind of go to the bottom tier and see if we got guys that we are just here because they're here, who we won't get a penalty for cutting. Alex Wright, but we need him for depth at right end. Ritter we just signed, so we're not going to get rid of him. And Patterson, yeah, well, we're going to keep him because we need a third back. Scott, but we signed him, Lawson Game. And Serious. Yeah. So that didn't create a whole lot of cap space, and it also brought us down back to 49 on the roster. Let me see if I can try something here. Because one of the things that I've never really tried to double check and see is if we can renegotiate contracts. Because I don't think in these Maddens you can do that, but I've also never really experimented with that. I'm just going to Watson, goals, stats, and contracts. Okay, let's see. Player, career stats. Okay, all right, well, okay, well, that's not really a contract. We're looking for Watson. Okay, hold on. So, edit player. I'm not sure if you could do this in old Maddens, but I feel like you could renegotiate contracts. Because if that feature was available, I'd want to renegotiate Deshaun Watson's contract so it's not, so we're not, because like I said, look, he's got 4 years left on a 5-year deal, so we're stuck with him for 4 years. And I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. You know, he's not the worst, but still, a 79 overall, that's not too sexy. And yes, we got a 99 overall Nick Chubb for our running game, which definitely helps. And we got a solid receiver in Amari Cooper. He's got 2 years left, so we're going to be with him for a little while. And he's still an 89 overall. And we just cut Peoples-Jones, so Zacchaeus is our other receiver. So yeah, we're on the struggle bus for this year for sure. Let me go. You know, I know I keep going back to the same page, but I just want to see what that does to our cap situation for this. Can we go out and get it right? Okay, we can. Okay, we have 1.16 million in cap space. So let's just go out and I don't know why I clicked that. I didn't mean to click this. Yeah, let's get out of this. I didn't even go to practice. Practice. Let me go to re-sign players. Actually, maybe this is where I can negotiate. Re-sign players. All right. Well, we can't do anything because this screen has all of them locked, so we can't even do anything with them. I'll tell you what, if they could bring one, I really hope, because here's the thing. You saw when we were trying to do those trades, every other team in the league is dealing with basically no cap space at all. Like, no maneuvering to do anything, not sign players or anything like that. So maybe the next offseason will be the first offseason that we're actually able to do stuff, because just due to the fact that we don't have any room to sign anybody. So let's go ahead and go to free agent pool. Let's see if we can get another right guard in here for depth. And I'm doing this really just to give us some options because we don't have a lot of flexibility if we got guys that are going to go down to injury. Wes Schweitzer, I don't know if we'll be able to afford him. Yeah, we can't afford him. That's too much over the cap. The guy we're going to have to bring, yeah, you know what, maybe Brian Winters. What is he asking for? Yeah, he still asks for $2.25 million. That's too much. It's out of our range. We're going to have to go towards the bottom. And let's... Colby Gassett. We can't even afford him. We got to get a guy that's basically right at 1 point. Yeah, these guys are getting close to being at that. Let me go back to the top and let's see what each of them are going to kind of be asking for. Danny Isidora. I think he's probably the only guy that we can afford. No, we actually can't because it's going to be $1.65 million. We need a guy that's less than that. We might not be able to afford anybody in this pool. So Ben Braden is the lowest rated guy. We're just going to have to bring him in. And we're bringing him in strictly for depth. Because right now we're struggling to just fill out the roster. We don't even have 53 guys. We're at 50. Part of me really wants to try to orchestrate another trade to get more cap space. And I might just do that because I kind of want to make sure that we have a full roster, if you know what I mean. So let's go, and this is gonna probably be pretty insane, but some of the biggest guys, you know what? Njoku is 86 overall. He's a solid tight end, but we can always draft a new one. We can. Newsome, I think. Is Newsome our top-rated corner? No, that's Ward. You know what? Let me see if we can find a way to maybe trade Greg Newsome. This may be a little bit gutsy, but this may be not the best idea in the world, but it can free up some room. Are there teams that need a defense, that need a corner? The Eagles need a corner. Let's see. What can we get? Maybe a pick. Can we get maybe a first-round pick for Newsome? Nice. And it's a pretty high, and it'll be a first-round pick. Now, that might not have been the best decision in the world. And let me see what that actually kind of does to our corner situation. We still got Ward. He's our top-rated corner. We're not getting rid of him. He won the Super Bowl MVP last year, so we're not going to get rid of him by a long shot. Newsome, he was solid. But that was a lot of, space to eat up. Now, one thing that creates a problem with is now that we only have 3 corners. So let's go ahead and go to the free agent pool, and let's get another corner for depth. It didn't really free up a whole lot in cap space, but it gave us a little room to do something. Gave us more than others, so Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can go out and let's just get a corner to be basically the fourth string guy. Now, some of these guys we probably can't really afford. Tavon Young, yeah, we're going to have to go kind of towards the bottom. But we still got guys in the 70s. What about Isaiah Johnson? Let's see if we can get him in here. We could probably, yeah, we can afford him. Cool. All right. So now we're back at 50, but we probably don't have much room at all for cap at all. So, yeah. Let me see what we're looking like right now. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this. Let's see here. Okay. Well, we only have, we don't have any. I think that's going to have to be it, guys. You know, I know that I just traded away a good corner to get a less corner, but, you know, we just got to create some cap space. All right. So let's go in and take a look at our final roster. This is what we're going with. And it's going to be pretty tough to repeat as world champions. Now, I'm not expecting a repeat in the Super Bowl. But if this team can get back to the playoffs after getting a couple of key pieces stripped due to salary cap hell, maybe we can rebuild and make another Super Bowl run the following season. But let's see. So we still got Deshaun Watson. He's our starting quarterback. We're stuck with him, so we're going to rock with him for right now. We got Colt McCoy as our backup. Colt Gore, rookie, third string. Nick Chubb, Demetric Felton, Jarrett Patterson. Those are our running backs. Kareem Blossomgame is our fullback. Wide receiver, Amari Cooper, Alameda Zacchaeus, Jakeem Grant, David Bell, Stevenson, and Starks, our rookie. And we still got Njoku, Pharaoh Brown, Charlie Ujit, Jedrick Willis, Hudson, Batalio, Harris, Austin Reeder, backing him up. O'Keefer Jr., he was our rookie that we drafted. At right guard, Jack Conklin is still our right tackle. Brandon Graham, we picked up in free agency, is our new starting left end. Myles Garrett on the other side, Isaiah Thomas, and Alex Wright. And Shakia Ika, Jordan Elliott, and Perrin and Winfrey. And Ika was our first-round pick out of Baylor. Jermaine Carter is our left outside linebacker. Jacob Phillips, 69 overall middle linebacker. Not the best, but best we can do. Karamoa, right outside linebacker. Denzel Ward still here, 90 overall corner. Martin Emerson Jr., Greedy Williams, and Isaiah Johnson, who we picked up in free agency. John Johnson III, Nick Scott, and then Grant Delpit and Ronnie Harrison Jr. We still got Cade York as our kicker, and Corey Bajurwitz as our punter. So that's what we're going with for year 2 of the Browns. The Super Bowl champion Browns are back in action, but with not exactly a very good roster. And I shouldn't say very good, but there's pieces that have been stripped to this team. No question about it. So now we're kind of back to doing the normal simulation here. We did beat the Bears in our first preseason game. Let's go ahead and upgrade some players. Hopefully some of these lower-rated guys can blossom into decent guys because, you know, we just really need help and, you know, in depth and all that. Got the Rams this week. Let's see what we do in preseason week 2. And we did beat the Rams. Let's go ahead and go to our staff page and see what upgrades we can do. Staff is pretty much going to remain intact during this rebuild, like I said before, so I'm not really going to be making a whole lot of adjustments there. I don't really know if we can do anything. Let's go to defensive coordinator. See if we can do anything with upgrades here. We probably can't. No, we can't. Let's go to talents, player personnel. Can we do anything here? No, we can't. We only have 7 points. That's not enough skill points to spend on franchise staff, unfortunately. So we're just gonna have to save those points for later and use them a little further down the road. We got our final preseason game against the Eagles at home. Let's go ahead and simulate it. We're 2-0 in the preseason, so not bad. And we went undefeated in the preseason, 53-42. Wow, what a score. Unbelievable. And Nick Chubb, 99 overall halfback. When you have a 99 overall tailback, you're going to be in pretty good shape in these games, if you ask me. Now, we got some more points to spend, so let's go ahead and spend some of those points. We might be able to spend some actually more on the coordinators because we have 15 points here to spend. Let's go ahead and do this one. Leaves us with 7 points, but we'll get some more during the season. No question about it. And let's continue and get ready for the regular season. And we don't even have to cut any players because our roster is at like 50. So we don't have to cut anybody. But it is what it is. Actually, you know what? Let me check injury reports and see if we got anybody hurt. Because one of the biggest concerns is that if we have injuries, and we have a lot of injuries this season, then we have no depth, almost no depth to back up those guys. And they're not going to be good players. So, yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and get to the regular season and get going. All right. So you see it right there. We're at 50 of the 53 that we can have. And let me actually check and see. Let me go to team salaries one more time before the start of the regular season and see if anything kicked in. Yep, still got no cap space. No cap room to do anything. So here we go. Year 2 of the Browns. Trying to get back to that Super Bowl, but I'm just hoping that we can make the playoffs with a roster that is a bit inferior to last year's. I mean, just keep in mind, lost our second best running back. We released our second best running back. We released our second best receiver. We traded away our second best corner, and we only made one free agency move in signing Brandon Graham at left end because that's all we could afford. So we're going into this season with a roster that is not in great shape, if you ask me. So we're advancing to the middle of the season, and let's see where we're at. I'm not sure what the rest of the division has done during the offseason, but something tells me that the Bengals are going to be our biggest challenge in year 2. They're going to be gunning for us because they actually were on top of us in the division for 1 week last year in the first season. We slipped up, lost a game to, I think, a 2-8 Buccaneer team, I think, and but we rebounded. You know, we finished the season 10-7. We won the division, but we were a wild card team, which was fine. So hopefully we're not taking a nosedive this season, but something tells me we're definitely going to dip this year in terms of our record. It would surprise me if we're the same or better than we were last year. So that's kind of the way that I'm looking at things. And due to the fact that we traded a corner, coincidentally once again to the LA Chargers, we actually have another first-round pick. So that'll really help with the rebuild process. Okay, so we're not looking too bad. We're at 4-3. But the Bengals are 5-1, so they've got a pretty good jump on the division already. So let's go ahead and upgrade players first and foremost. And we are playing the Tennessee Titans this week. And, yep, got to deal with Derrick Henry, who's still a part of the team. As far as the rest of the division, looks like the Ravens are the same record as us, but the Steelers are not too far behind. Delegate decisions to staff. So we are at the point where we can negotiate. But let's go ahead and go to Mock Draft 2 and see at the middle of the season where they're projecting us to pick number 1 and also who they want us to pick. So right now we would have the 21st pick, Rashad Vincent, left tackle from Stanford. And you know what? That actually might be a good thing. And I know we have a great left tackle in Willis, but he's on the last year of his deal, and I'm planning to let him walk. Some of the big name guys, some of the guys that are eating up the most team salary cap space, and also are on the last year of their deal, we're letting them walk because we need space, no doubt about it. All right, so yeah, if they're projecting us to take a left tackle, that's actually pretty cool. And by the way, these are like auto-generated rookies. This isn't a real draft class. These guys are all fake, but it's fine. Let's go to the negotiating screen and let's see what we can even do, because right now we probably don't even have enough cap space. Okay, so we have 19 million in cap room to negotiate with these players. So look, I think John Johnson is a guy that we really need to look at bringing back, because I feel like that an 82 overall free safety is going to be hard to come by elsewhere. So let's see. He's happy to sign and play for for a great team. Okay, so that jumped us. So that only bumped us down to 12 million. See, Jedrick Willis Jr. He's 82 overall, which is pretty good. But if we're still projected to take that left tackle and we don't slip up or anything like that, we're probably just going to have to look at free agency for an offensive line, a left tackle, or in the draft. And also his re-sign interest is not up there, which means that we would really have to break the bank just to convince Willis to come back for maybe even one more season. And I don't want to do that, because the best way in year 2 of this rebuild to get out of salary cap hell is to be able to let the guys that, even if they have a high overall, let them walk and truly rebuild, because that's what we're having to do right now. Brandon Graham, can we convince him to maybe come back for one season? Just one season. Offers perfect. Okay, that's not breaking the bank. Well, it actually kind of is. Now it's only at $3.4 million. And the rest of these guys, their interest is not really up there. Yeah, none of these guys' interest is really up there. So you know what? Every single one of these guys, y'all are walking. Y'all ain't coming back. We're letting you guys walk away. And we are going to just go with that. Probably not going to negotiate with anybody else for the rest of the season. So let's go ahead and let's advance to, can we... Let's go ahead and let's go to simulate next week. I hate that you couldn't like simulate several weeks without getting to the final week of the season, but it is what it is, I suppose. Plus, it gives us some time to manage injuries if we get them. Well, unfortunately, we lost to the Titans, and now we're 4-4. Let's go ahead and upgrade players. I don't know why it's telling me to update to manage my stat, because we have 0 skill points to spend there, so we're going to bypass that. Yeah, we got to answer a media question. Let's see what Jonathan Coachman has to say. It's been an up and down first half for you guys. What do you expect this team? Next game, get to the playoffs. We'll just say that. Hey, we won the Super Bowl last year. We still expect to be a playoff team, even though we have an inferior roster. That's what we're doing. And negotiating, I'm done with negotiating in the season, because we managed to get John Johnson, and we managed to get Brandon Graham to come back for one more season at left end. I really just wanted to bring him back for 1 year to hold that fort down a little bit, and that'll be good. Unfortunately, we got a new injury. Who's hurt? It's probably somebody significant. We got actually a few of them. Marquez Stevenson, torn rotator cuff, out 16 weeks. Wow, yeah, let's put you on IR. Yeah, your season's done. We can actually do a skill point, so let's go ahead and spend that skill point. But unfortunately, because you're out, for this long, we're going to put you on IR. So Stevenson is on IR, which means we're down one less receiver. And I don't think we can even afford to sign a receiver to fill up his spot. As far as other injuries, Nick Harris is out for 1 week with a dislocated wrist and a high ankle sprain for 1 week. Is sidelining Demetric Felton Jr. So our backup running back and our starting center are out this week, going up against the 2-6 Rams, which is a favorable matchup for us, but we'll see what happens. All right, well, let's advance and let's go to the next week. All right, let's see. Let's upgrade players first. Manage staff. We got 19 skill points to spend. That's solid. Let's go to Stefanski's tree. And let's see what we can do with him right now. Probably not a whole lot. We need 25 to spend on that. Yeah, we're going to need a lot of points to upgrade him. Let's go ahead and do Premier Destinations for 10 points. Alright, so we got 9 skill points left to use for later. We will continue on and see what's next week. Okay. Which way it's saying manage staff. Actually, we could spend those points now because I think we just need 8 points on the trees. Let's go over to Will Hudson, our offensive coordinator, first, and let's see what upgrades we can do for him. We actually can do a few of them. Let's do this. All right, so now we only have 1 point left. That's cool. We were able to upgrade our staff a little bit. If our staff gets a little bit better, then hopefully, other players will follow suit and we'll be able to be consistent. Focus player, delegate that decision to staff. All right. Well, we're on a bye week, so let's go ahead and simulate to next week. We got the Chiefs, week 12, a rematch of last year's AFC divisional playoff game. They're going to come out pretty hot. Well, the Chiefs are, we're 6-4, they're 6-4, so this is kind of a little bit of a tight matchup in terms of, the records and everything. Could mean, wild card playoff position, so. The good thing is that we're still doing pretty well for an inferior team, if you ask me, because we've got, a 6-4 record. We're not looking too bad, but still, we're probably not. It's probably going to be tougher to make any kind of Super Bowl run with a roster that's inferior. And we lost that one, so now we're 6-5, and we're second in the division. The Bengals are 8-3, so it's looking like that they're probably going to win the division this year. Rightfully so. They probably were able to maintain most of their core. We've had to cut some key guys due to salary cap issues, and that's what we're left with. But it is what it is. Let me go ahead back to the negotiating screens for my own curiosity and see if anything with the salary cap numbers changed. No, it hasn't. It's still at $3.4 million, which is barely enough to do anything. So, yeah, and we were able to get the 2 guys that I was even interested in. They were even remotely interested in re-signing at all. So, yeah. And now we got a matchup against the Buffalo Bills. They're not doing pretty well. They're actually 5-6. We're 6-5. So we got a rematch. So in back-to-back weeks, we've had a rematch of 2 of our playoff opponents. We had the Chiefs and we have the Bills this week. So this is a rematch of the AFC title game. And we lost that game pretty bad. So now we're 6-6. The playoff picture probably is in effect now. That's probably something that we can view. Let's go ahead and upgrade our rookie right guard. Hopefully, even at 69 overall, he's doing okay. But he's all we've got. We had to do what we could to just patch up what has been left. So let's go to the playoff picture and let's see where we're even at. I don't even know if we're a wild card team right now. Yeah, we're nowhere in sight for the playoff picture. And something tells me that we're going to be on the outside looking in just due to our record. And we already, we don't have a worse record because we lost 7 games last year. And we're at 6 losses already. But we got a pretty tough matchup against the Ravens this week, and they're actually 7-5. So we're actually 3rd now in our division, which really hurts us. If we beat the Ravens, maybe we can launch ourselves back into the playoff race, but I don't really see it with the Ravens being a tough team. And we did lose by 4 points, so now we're still 3rd in the division. Yeah, this is not going to be a playoff season, but you know what? It's okay. This really gives us a chance to rebuild for year 3 and see if we can make a Super Bowl run then. And even if we can't, winning the Super Bowl in the first year is going to be good enough, and then I'm going to probably end this rebuild after next season. That's probably what I'm going to do. And now we got the Jaguars this week. We're 6-7. They're 7-6. Hopefully we can win this one, but I don't know. So we did beat the Jaguars, and we're 7-7. So we're back at 500. That's not bad. If we could just finish maybe at like 9-8 or something like that, I think that'd be perfectly fine. I'd be okay with that as our record, considering how much we had to just blow it, how much we had to dismantle the team. Let me go ahead and check injuries and see what we're looking like. I know Stevenson we placed on IR. He's out for the season. But is there anybody else that's out? No, it's just Stevenson still out. Yeah, regardless if we made the playoffs, he wasn't going to be back in time to play, so ultimately just better to just let him sit the year out. But we got a tough matchup against the division-leading Bengals, 10-4, 7-7. Let's go ahead and simulate past this one. This is probably going to be another L, which means that if we lose this game, I think it essentially knocks us out of the playoffs. We're not going to have a shot at a wild card spot. We beat the Bengals. Wow. So we're 8-7 now. And let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff picture of my own curiosity. Something tells me we're not nearly in the hunt. Yeah, we're not in the hunt at all. So the Ravens are in the bid for a wild card spot, but they're second in our division. We're third. So I think we're missing out on the playoffs this year. And, it just is what it is. We're just going to have to really take a look at what we have and figure something out going into next year. But it looks like Ika has actually, his overall's gone up a little bit, so that's pretty good. Hopefully he can develop be a good defensive tackle for us for next season as well, because, there's a whole lot of, let's see View Weekly Awards. Did we have somebody that won an award this week? We probably did. Myles Garrett, 6 tackles and 3 sacks in our victory over the Bengals. How about that? That's pretty good. Myles Garrett's our top-rated, probably, he's not our top-rated player because we've got a 99 overall halfback in Nick Chubb. So, yeah. So we've got the 7 and 8 Cardinals. This should be a win, but we'll see. Both of us are probably not playoff teams this year anyway, so we're just kind of, in my opinion, we're just really playing out the stretch at this point in the season. But it is what it is. And we lost to the Cardinals, so we're 8-8. And we have one more game against the Ravens at 8-8 as well. If we win, maybe we can... Nah, I don't think we will. Let's see. Answer the media question. Let's see. You've got an opponent you know well coming into your house at a time you're both playing at a high level. What do you expect it to be like out there? I expect it to be a great game, but one I expect us to win. Let's just go ahead and say that. And because this is getting into a situation where I don't really think we're going to... Let's take a look at the playoff picture first and foremost. Because the Ravens aren't even in the playoff picture anymore. So something tells me that even if we win this game, the only thing we can do is finish second in the AFC North, which is okay. And more than anything, we would be able to finish with a winning record. So I'm going to go ahead and play this game and just play the moments, and let's end the season, on a high note, beating our division rivals at home. And let's actually go a little old school here. Let's wear whites. Let's wear white at home. How about that? Yeah. Okay, so I can't even see the freaking... Okay, so white... How do I'm trying to change the pants, but I can't even change the pants. What the heck? Okay, so edit uniforms, away. Okay, that was really weird. Okay, I couldn't even see what I was changing. Current away custom, current official helmet, current away jersey, current alternate classic pants. Current Color Rush pants, current alternate pants. They're the current Color Rush pants. Can I get some white pants here? Okay, that's weird. Current home pants. Okay, so just go current home pants. Okay, let's just go all white, and let's make sure the Ravens are wearing their home jerseys. Yeah, we're going white at home for the last game of the season. So this is going to be the end of year 2. No chance for a repeat of a Super Bowl team, but you know what? Hey, We brought a championship to Cleveland last year for the first time. Well, not a championship, but a Super Bowl for the first time in Cleveland. First championship overall since probably the 50s, 60s. So now it's all about getting to the offseason and really seeing what we can do to retool and reload this team, because we're gonna be making some adjustments this offseason as well. I don't know how much cap room we'll have to do anything, but hopefully we'll have the ability to do something.
From First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. It's Week 18 of the
final week of the regular season. The dog pound is hooting and hollering, and we got the white jerseys, looking like the old Browns, wearing white at home.
Ball in the red zone. It's
second and inches. The Ravens are driving pretty well on us. See if we can tackle Lamar Jackson. And we can, and he dang near got in the end zone. He's down to the 1-yard line.
A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first.
Let's go to fireman here.
Here's Jackson. This is
oh, Andrews didn't get in. Yeah, he ran out to catch the ball and he didn't get back in the end zone. That's some cheese right there for the Ravens. Let's adjust a little bit. Let's go inside gap. Everybody get in there. Stop this back. Or let him roll over you. The fullback scores and the Ravens get on top first.
His 4th rushing touchdown on the year.
So we're on offense here. We have a 3rd down and 7.
Defense as they look to hold on and force a field goal try.
Let's see if we can try to find a way to get this conversion. Hold on, let's go verticals.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson.
Come on,
rifle this
right over.
Right side.
Touchdown, Bell. Let's go. Picking up where he left off last season. Beautiful touchdown pass. Went for it all and he went and got it. There we go, Browns. Ravens threatening again. It's 3rd down and 1. Off this field here. Here we go. Nowhere, Lamar. Nowhere.
Well, they hit him in the backfield and he will not escape. And that is not going to
forcing a field goal. We'll take that.
Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good.
Well, the Ravens do tack on 3, so they got a field goal.
10-7.
Back on offense, we got another 3rd down situation here. It's 3rd down and 9. Got Chubb in the backfield for a screen pass, but I don't know if I'm going to be looking his way. I can't even get it out of our hands in time. Now it's 4th down.
Always tough for the guys throwing the football.
That was a fail. So 4th and 9, and they're telling us to kick the field goal.
So on trots the field
this
goal
is a very long one.
Challenge here.
York
able to send this one
and
through.
He got it. Wow.
And that will knot us up at 10.
Big field goal by York. Still in the 2nd quarter here, and we got the ball. Pretty good field position. We got a chance to get 7 here. I'd love to get 7 before the half.
Just outside of the 10-yard line.
Very nice. Juke inside, Chubb. There we go.
They showed off the athletic
nice run.
juke.
There we go,
good
Chubb.
little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate.
Life is good when you have a 99 overall halfback.
68 yards rushing for him so far in this one as he nears 1,400 for the year. Second down.
Chubb's on his way to the Pro Bowl once again. No question about it. Let's go, 2 minutes left.
And again, it's Chubb.
Chubb couldn't quite break that tackle, so now we're at a 3rd down and 2. We're not really in a rush right now. I'm okay with kind of taking our time down here by the goal line.
They'll come to the
But 3rd and 2, got to get something
here. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb.
I think he picked up the 1st. Yeah, he did. He picked up the 1st without getting 6.
Taken down, but he does
it's crazy
have first down yardage.
Pretty crazy. 1st and goal. Let's go, Chubb.
They'll run with Chubb.
Fight through it, touchdown.
Into the end zone for
and we get a touchdown before the end of the 1st half. Nice job.
Nick Chubb, his 12th rushing.
Back on offense. We still have time left in the second quarter to do something, so let's
the
do
clock
it.
is becoming a factor. The offense has the football on their own side of the field.
Come on, Coop. Cooper, let's go.
It's
Call timeout.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts.
Nice haul in by Amari
45
Cooper.
seconds to go in the first half. So the big play gets
Our receiving core might be looking a little different, but we still got Cooper as our number one guy, so I feel pretty happy about that. We still have a solid receiver. We can still do a few things in this game.
And now it looks like they're
Gotta
going to
have
be
a
in
good
the
weapon.
hurry-up.
Let's see. Maybe
On
we can get
first
you
and
King Grant
10,
over the
Watson.
middle. Grant, oh, that was a terrible throw.
Intercepted.
That was
Picked up by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens are going to take possession.
That was a terrible thing to do at the end of the half. At least we're still up by 7. Kind of getting to twilight here in Cleveland. 3rd down and 1. Let's pick this up. Come on, Chubb. Catch that. Here we go. Woo! Juke him out of... Oh, let's go. Oh, but there's a flag on the
first
play.
down at the Ravens 37.
And it's holding, of course. Oh, man. Njoku. Jeez. Come on, man. You can't do that. But it looks like we were able to recover and we got the first. So now we're on the move once again.
Third quarter, and this offense has it in the red zone, 1st and 10. Following the penalty, Chubb.
Here we go, Chubb. Lower your shot. Oh, get off of him. Yeah, let's go. 114 yards on 19 carries for Mr.
Here's
Chubb.
2nd and 1 now from the 7.
2nd and 1.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb.
Mostly running the football, but we've got a good running back. We might as well take advantage. We get another touchdown with Nick.
Chubb with his 14th.
It's at 14 total touchdowns on the year for Chubb. 2nd and 2. Let's keep running in and pick up the first.
Up the middle, it's Chubb.
Easy first down. Let's go.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Now Watson. Eluding the pressure right.
Just run it.
And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Touchdown here with Watson.
They'll try the air now with Watson.
Come on, Cooper. Let's go. Touchdown, Amari Cooper.
Cleveland. Amari Cooper. A 5-yard touchdown.
We got a 21-point lead in the 4th. Probably got this one just about wrapped up. We do.
It's a 2-score game in the 4th.
They're going for the onside kick. They're still down 14 points. We scored 38 points in this one. That's a good day of offense. Scott's going to go ahead and field it. We got 17 seconds left in our season. Let's take a knee. Let's end the season on a high note.
This defense trailing in the
You know what? Chubb has been the main guy all year. Oh, never mind. So we beat the Ravens 38-24 in our last regular season game. Most likely not making the playoffs in year 2 of this rebuild, but it's okay. I think Cleveland can accept us not making the playoffs this year due to salary cap issues and the fact that we really just couldn't run it back due to the fact that we couldn't make any adjustments. But we got you one Super Bowl win last year, Cleveland. Trying to see what we can do, even run it back, but it's going to be tough.
Above 500 for the year. The final tally 9-8. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than.
Like I said, more than likely no playoffs, but it's okay. Now we can start kind of really rebuilding this team. Got a lot of decisions to make. Upgrade some guys and finish up the season. So we actually did make the playoffs. Wow. 9-8. We made the playoffs. And now we got a chance to play the Titans. So I'm a little surprised. I didn't think we were going to make the playoffs because we got a team that is inferior and gutted after a championship win. Gallery, Domaney, what's up, bro? Yeah, what's up, man? How you doing? Okay, let's take a look at the playoff bracket here and let's see who made it. So we've got the Raiders and the Broncos, us against the Titans. We got the Bengals against the Chiefs, okay. And the Patriots have the bye, so they got. So it looks like Bill Belichick is up to his old tricks. So it looks like the Patriots are back to their old form. No Tom Brady, but still in there. Me and my guys at work. Watching you. All right, thank you. NFC side: Niners, Cardinals, Commanders, Eagles. Wow. Okay, so 3 teams from the NFC East made the playoffs. How about that? And we got the Packers against the Cowboys. That's a classic matchup. And the Panthers, #1 seed. Wow. I'm guessing they have a rookie quarterback. It's either Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. I don't know who they drafted in this particular year in last year's particular draft, but probably one of those guys. But we got a playoff matchup against the Titans. And you know what? We won. Last year this team won the Super Bowl. I'm just going to go ahead and actually simulate this time and see what we can do in the playoffs with simulating. We might probably lose this wild card game to the Titans, but, after winning the championship last year, and we beat the Titans, so we are in the divisional matchup. We have an inferior team, but it doesn't matter. And we're playing against the division rival Bengals, so how about that? It's pretty amazing that, I didn't think we were going to... I didn't think this team was a playoff team because we had to get rid of so many guys due to salary cap problems that we had. I mean, we had no money to spend. We had no money to do anything. So, that's trouble. So now we've got the Bengals in the divisional matchup. Let's see what we do. If we were to get all the way to the Super Bowl by just me simming, that'd be pretty crazy. I mean, we got a good team. We still got a 99 overall Chubb. And how about that? We're at the AFC Championship game again. So how about that? Upgrade some players. All right, so let's go ahead and take it to the playoff bracket and let's see how everything's looked so far. So the Broncos beat the Raiders, and they played the Patriots. We, of course, have advanced. The Chiefs lost to the Bengals. Okay, so Burrow got his revenge. NFC side of things, the Cardinals beat the 49ers. Wow, that is an upset in the wild card round. And the Eagles beat the Commanders. Another... Man, in the wild card round, all the higher seeds in the NFC lost. The Niners, Commanders, and Packers all lost in the wild card round, and they were the higher seeds. That is crazy. And in the divisional round, Panthers beat the Cardinals, and the Eagles beat the Cowboys. So it's the Browns, us, and against the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. And in the NFC Championship game, we've got the Eagles and the Panthers. A rematch of the 2003 NFC Championship game? Yeah. That was the year before T.O. got there. It was McNabb, Deuce Staley, Todd Pinkston, and they lost to the Panthers in that championship game. I remember that when I was younger, when I was a young pup just starting to watch football. The Patriots are 16-1. Holy cow, that is unbelievable. They only lost 1 game the whole season. Let me take a look actually at the Patriots roster just out of curiosity. Like, do they still have Mac Jones at quarterback, or do they have a new guy? Did they draft somebody, or what do they do? Let's see. How are they so good? I just want to know. So Mac Jones is up to an 85 overall. Okay, I mean he's not the best quarterback overall in the league. Stevenson is up to an 85 at running back, and Myers, Hardman. Okay, so 88, 3 receivers in the 80s. That's not bad. Hunter Henry's an 87 overall tight end. That's actually pretty impressive. Decent offensive line. Yeah, everything's pretty solid for the Patriots all around. Judon is up to a 90. Bentley's an 88. And we got Josh Uchi, I guess, up to an 86. 2 corners in the 80s. 77, Marcus Joyner. Kyle Duger. I'm not really too familiar with this guy, and he's up to a 90. Who is this guy? He's not a rookie because it says he's been in the league for 3 years, so I don't really know how he jumped up that high with his overall. I don't know. But I don't know every roster on the back of my hand in real life when it comes to football. So we made trades. We had to cut players, but we made it all the way back to the AFC Championship game. Can we cross the finish line and once again get back to the Super Bowl? We're once again a wild card team that didn't even win our division. Can we get back to the Super Bowl? Can we beat the Patriots? The once again mighty New England Patriots, who I'm guessing are still coached by Bill Belichick in this game. And we didn't. We lost to the Patriots by 4. But you know what? In my opinion, successful season considering the talent that we had to get rid of from last year's team. Was it a big drop off in talent? No. But did not expect to get all the way to the AFC Championship game in the second year. Now let's take a look and see who made the Pro Bowl for us this year. No Chubb, really. Chubb didn't make it. I'm a little surprised because I think he had over 1,400 yards rushing. But who else made it? Do we have anybody that made it? Looks like no Browns. Well, Myles Garrett made it. He makes the Pro Bowl every year. Looks like it's just Myles Garrett. Only Brown to make the Pro Bowl this year. Oh, nope, scratch that. John Johnson III made it as the backup free safety behind Wingard. I don't know who that is. Yeah. Yeah, and that's it. So Myles Garrett and John Johnson III made it, and of course we just gave Johnson an extension during the season. We renegotiated with him, and we've got him for another season. We renegotiated him to a contract during the year. So, yeah, this is pretty much going to be it. So let's go ahead and advance, and let's see who wins the Super Bowl. We've got the Patriots facing. I'll need to look at who they're playing because I forgot who's gonna play in the Super Bowl. Actually, I haven't even seen it yet. Let's see who's playing in the Super Bowl this year. So we've got the Eagles and the Patriots, a rematch of Super Bowl 52 from 2017 and of Super Bowl 39 in 2004. So another Patriots-Eagles Super Bowl. Let's go ahead and upgrade players because we probably can upgrade Cade York. Thought maybe Myles Garrett because he played in the Pro Bowl would be an upgrade, but it is what it is. Okay. Let's go ahead and review yearly awards, and let's see if we had anybody that was even close to maybe walking away with any hardware. Nobody really in the MVP conversation. Coach of the Year. Our guy's not up there. MVP. Let's go to AFC. AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Anybody up there? No. Defensive Player of the Year to Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett came in 6th. That's not bad. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Bijan Robinson. He got drafted by the Dolphins. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, best quarterback. Watson didn't even break top 10. Best running back, Nick Chubb finished 4th. Best wide receiver. No love for Amari Cooper. Best offensive lineman. Nobody from us up there. Best defensive lineman. Myles Garrett came in 2nd there. No surprise. Best linebacker. Nobody from us there. What about defensive back? No love from anybody there. Cade York was the best kicker. All right. And that's it. So Cade York was the only player from our squad to win any award this year. He got the award for best kicker. And Myles Garrett finished 2nd for best defensive lineman in the conference. So not too bad. So now we get down to business. Really want to see what our salary cap situation is looking like this offseason because we got decisions to make, y'all. We got decisions to make. Because we're still struggling with salary cap issues right now. So I'm not going to do season recap. Let's upgrade players one more time. Got a bunch of practice squad guys. Let's go ahead and upgrade them. They're probably just really random players that they've assigned us at points during the season just so we can, you know, have a decently sized roster. So I don't want to make any staff moves or changes or anything like that. We don't want to fire anybody or bring anybody else new in here. So let's move on. View retirements. Did we have anybody from us retire? Let's see. Let's go to us. We actually had a few. Oh, so Brandon Graham did retire. Wow. Okay. Well, we did want to try to see if we could bring him back, but not going to happen. Colt McCoy is retiring, and we also have our third tight end, Charlie. He's retiring as well. So, yeah. May have to look at drafting a tight end because of Charlie's retirement, but with Brandon Graham retiring, that's one less player that we kind of have to worry about, even negotiating at all. $12 million in cap room to try to see what we can do with anybody, but I don't think any of these guys are even interested in re-signing. Well, some of their interest is up there, but for most of them it's not. So we're just going to let all these guys walk, and we're going to start free agency and really get this thing kind of rolling. Let's go ahead and advance, and let's get into the full off season, and let's see what we can do. This third season may actually be the season that's the drop off because we're going to have just a lot of moves to think about. So let's go ahead to the free agent screen and let's see who's out here and how much cap room we even have to work with. So we only have $12.1 million in cap room, which isn't a whole lot. But let me go to the roster and see where we just flat out need, and we may just be looking at getting guys for depth because I don't really see us making big splashes. $12 million is decent, but it's not really up there. So quarterback situation is actually okay. We'll keep Shane on as our third stringer. Running backs are looking pretty solid. Got no fullbacks anymore because Boston game is gone. So let's go ahead and I'm going to get rid of some of these practice squad guys. We don't really need them. They just kind of are filling up space at this point. And it's not going to free up a whole lot of room, but let's go ahead and get rid of Langford as well. So now, yeah. So not a whole lot of, receivers and all that. And Bell is actually up to a 75, so he's kind of taken over as our new receiver. And that other guy that we got in the offseason, we're letting him walk as well. And I'm glad I decided to actually go ahead and give Pharaoh Brown a new contract last offseason because now we have at least 2 tight ends on the team. So James Hudson III is now our new projected starting left tackle, 6'8" overall. That's not bad, but it's not good either. We still got Bitonio, and we need to get a center. We need to go out and get a center for sure this offseason. Ryan Stanley. We could go out and of course get another. So I think left end, once again, is a need, and so is center. And we could also, and I think safety is another player that we can look at in terms of bringing in to back up the players that we have. I think that might be what we're kind of looking at here. So let's see what we can do in free agency. So we need to get a center. Who's out here? Who's even interested? Lucas Patrick. Okay, he's a scheme fit as well. He's only 31 years old. 71 overall. That's not bad. He fits our scheme. We could probably go with a team-friendly deal with this guy because I don't really see too many teams clamoring for him. So let's make an offer for him. It still leaves us with $9 million to kind of maneuver around a little bit. We need, let's go ahead and see about left ends. Zach Seiler, 80 overall. Okay. Let's see if we can maybe offer him something. You don't have enough? Yeah. Well, gosh, Bob Saget the fifth. I don't know where that came from. Okay, well, you know what? We're gonna have to go lower. Danico Autry? Can we maybe see if we can offer him something? Let's make an offer for him. Left end depth. Let's see about safety. We need at least one safety. Free safety or strong safety, doesn't matter. Let's go down a little bit. Not really wanting to express interest in guys that aren't interested. Matthias Farley. What a name. We're going to go with a team-friendly deal. Come on down. And let me actually see about strong safety. You know what? Let's see about left tackle because our starting guy is projected to be in the freaking 70s. Jonah Williams. We probably can't afford him. Is there a guy in the 70s that is not? No, there's not. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. Let's go back to strong safeties. This is all about depth. Let's see if we can get Clayton Fagendulum. The name. All right. Can we go with a very team-friendly? Yeah. He'll probably take that. You just need depth. But now we have no cap room, really, so we're down to 1.71 million or something like that. So let me actually go to let me just take a look at the active negotiations that we're going to have. None of these guys are really big guys, so these are the guys we've targeted. We got Danico Autry, left end, Lucas Patrick, center, Clayton, and Farley. None of these guys have competing offers, so we'll probably be able to land most, if not all, of these guys. They'll take whatever they can get. So let's go ahead and advance to week, and let's advance to the second stage. Let's see who we can get. Okay. So let's go to free agents and see who we got, if anybody. Let's see. Targeted. We got all of them. So we got Farley, Clayton, Lucas Patrick is going to be our new starting center, and Autry is going to be probably our starting left end, at least for now, because once again, because Brandon Graham decided to retire, so we had to replace him with somebody. So let's go ahead and view mock draft number 4, and I think as far as free agency, that's probably all we're going to be able to do. So mock draft 4, we're probably going to have a lower pick because of how well we did this season. Yeah, we got the 32nd pick, but we are projected to take a left tackle. So that's good. Casey Rogers from LSU. Now that I think is a pretty good pick because we need a new left tackle. We let Willis walk, so I think we're definitely in the market for a left tackle, and I think we should definitely go with that. So that's what we're going with. So let's go ahead and advance to the draft. Let's send to the draft week. Not really going to do anything else in free agency because once again, we got no money to spend. We had more money to spend this offseason than we did last season, but it wasn't very much. And I also do not expect Brandon Graham to retire. That was a little unexpected, but it is what it is. I didn't even check to see if Tom Brady retired. I probably should have done that, but I can check on that. Let me just go to roster and let's see. Let's go to the Bucs. Is Tom Brady still kicking it? Is he still playing football? No, he's not. Brady's done playing. Good. Okay, because last offseason he didn't retire. But I'm guessing this offseason he finally called it quits. Okay, well, let's go ahead and start the draft. We've got the last pick of the first round, and let's go ahead and get Rodgers if he's still out here, the left tackle from LSU, because that is who we need. We need him. Casey Rodgers, welcome to Cleveland, Ohio, son. Solid left tackle. Definitely a young guy that we can, hopefully develop. And I'm pretty excited about him joining the team. And it definitely fills a need immediately. Let's go to make a selection. We got a couple of picks from trades that we made, so some of those might actually be coming to fruition right now. So what else do we really need? We could also use another center. We could also use a right guard. We're probably going to have to go heavy on the offensive line. Right tackle, we're still, pretty good. What about centers? Is there a center that's, let's go to the defense. Let's go to defense and let's see what we're kind of looking for. Yeah, we could use some defensive tackle help. Are there any players that are kind of like highly rated or something like that? Not really. Tevin Pearman. You know what? We could use another receiver. Let's go with Pearman from Penn State. Let's get another solid receiver behind Amari Cooper, because we don't have Peoples-Jones anymore. We have some other solid receivers, but this guy looks pretty good. So let's go with him. And he fits our scheme too. So I like that. All right. And I might just go really best player available for most of these. So we do need help at left outside linebacker. Let's go with Eric Roosevelt from Oklahoma. Solid looking linebacker up there. He's the top rated guy on the board. He's best player available, so let's go with him as well, because we could definitely use some linebacker help.
It's the Cleveland Browns, now on the clock.
All right, let's see. We're in the fifth round here, so we definitely could use. We probably need to use some tackle help too. So you know what? Let's go with Sergio Crockett. Let's draft him.
The Cleveland Browns are now on the clock.
Not a big guy, but he's got a little bit of. He puts on a little bit of weight. Be better. All right, here we are in round number 6. Not a whole lot of picks in this draft, but we got some. Corners are best positions available right now. We could use another corner, I guess, but because we did trade away Newsome. You know what? Let's draft Jamie Boone to kind of really replace Newsome at corner, because we traded him last year. Let's go with him. He fits our scheme too, so I like that.
Next up, the Cleveland Browns are on the clock.
And now let's go and make our last pick. I think this is going to be our last pick of the draft. Is it? Nope. We still have another one. Okay, so this is a 6th round pick. So we had 2 6th round picks. Not bad. We could, which is something that we only have like 1 active of. You know what? We just got to get a right guard for depth. We need a right guard. Let's go out and get. Well, these guys are potentially undrafted, so you know what? We'll hold off on that for maybe the 7th round or 6th round or 7th round, I should say. Yeah, 7th round. We got a 7th round pick. Do we? Yeah, we do. Let's see. Could use, we could even use maybe another center. But none of those guys are no offensive lineman is really ranked high at all. These guys are all projected to go undrafted, so I don't want to reach too much just for a need. But we could also use a strong safety probably for depth. So let's go. So maybe we should go with Ruiz. What about, what about running backs? We could possibly look at getting another running back. All right, why is my thing bugging out? Hold on.
With the next selection, the Browns are on the clock.
Oh, it picked for me. Okay, well, dang it. Okay, well, I waited too long. That's my fault. I don't even know who it picked for me. I don't even know. Let's. All right. Well, we need a right guard. We're just gonna take a right guard. All right. Let's go with Quincy Hill. I know he's ready to go undrafted, but he fits our scheme. Let's go with him. I don't know who the computer picked for me, but hopefully it was that safety Ruiz or maybe a defensive back. Whatever. All right. This draft was kind of a deal where we just took some needs. We took best player available as well. So let's go to draft recap and see who we got. So everybody's signing their rookie deals, which is cool. So who did the computer pick? Okay, so they did pick Ruiz for me. Okay, well that's cool. All right, that's cool. Well, that's the guy I was ready to pick anyway. All right. So first round pick, Casey Rogers, left tackle. He's our starting left tackle. 72 overall, not bad. Tevin Pearman actually is rated higher than him at a 75, but he's going to be probably our second receiver. Eric Roosevelt, left outside linebacker, going to be a backup, but we need depth there. Sergio Crockett, defensive tackle. We need defensive tackle help for sure. Jamie Boone at corner. And we got David Ruiz at safety and Quincy Hall. So mostly linemen, one skill position guy, and that's really it. Because our offense is pretty good. We don't really need to rebuild the offense or anything like that. But, at this point we're kind of just looking to get some guys that can fill up the roster and just maybe have us a decent-sized roster going into camp. Because last year we couldn't even get to 53. Maybe we can this year. We'll see. So not much change. We still don't have a fullback. We can probably get one of those in free agency. So Pearman now is our second receiver. Pearman wearing number 12. I guess he's gonna be looking like Josh Gordon from back in the day. So yeah, and David Bell has become our third receiver. Jakeem Grant is our fourth receiver. We got Stevenson. We still got Starks, who we drafted last year. Bo Melton, and we got Greg Woods. Some of those guys are probably going to be cut, but still. Pharaoh Brown. We've got Casey Rogers, who's now our new starting left tackle. It's 73 overall. That's not bad considering we lost a guy that was in the 80s, but hey, Willis was too expensive for us to keep, so we had to move on. And James Hudson III and Justin Irving, who we drafted last year. Offensive line, we're looking pretty solid there. Lucas Patrick is our new center that we signed in free agency. Right guard at 71 with Emilio Keith Ekafor, who we drafted last year. I think is okay. Autry is our new left end, 78. Myles Garrett's still here, of course. Defensive tackle, we were able to get Sergio Crockett to be backing up Winfrey and Ika. And we've got Carter, and we got Austin Roth, and Eric Roosevelt, who we drafted as well. So we got more linebacker depth now, which definitely helps. It's not great. It's not really good. I mean, Donovan Michaels, who we drafted last year, is now probably going to be our starting middle linebacker at 67 overall. I'm thinking this is the season where we're actually going to have a legitimate drop-off, like where we're not even going to be close to being a playoff team. Or maybe third in the division. Who knows? Frank Robertson, Jamie Boone, Greedy Williams, Martin Emerson. So, yeah. So, Boone is going to be So we've got new corners. Safety. Farley is going to back up Johnson. We got Harrison. And we drafted David Ruiz to give us another safety, just to give us some more help. All right. So one thing I'm going to do before we kind of get started, I don't really need to adjust the roster anymore. We probably can't. Let's go ahead and advance to the start of the preseason and training camp, and Well, we don't need to adjust it. We finished it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Don't really need to adjust the roster. Don't need to change positions. Let's go ahead and advance to the preseason. Get ready for training camp, preseason. Let's advance to that. And get going for 2024. So here we go, preseason week 1. We have 53 players, so that's good. That's pretty solid. So let's go ahead and take a look at our roster and see what kind of team salaries are looking like for this year. This year we only have $3.808 million. Okay, so let me check and see whose contracts are expired. Okay, so this is it for Nick Chubb. I really don't think after this year it's going to be too expensive to keep him. He's going to eat up so much of the cap. Unless maybe I do him on the franchise tag and that's it. Chubb, I will possibly consider keeping for next year to try to see if we can rebuild around him, but it's going to be tough. Amari Cooper, love you, man, but I think this is going to be your last year in Cleveland. Kawasa, we're going to have to get another right outside linebacker. And Greedy Williams, same thing with you, man. We're going to probably let you walk. Harrison, you're probably going to have to walk. Autry, probably same with you, even though we just signed you. Felton, Jakeem, love you, which, we're going to have a lot of these guys walk. It is what it is. Because we're still in a tough salary cap spot. But it is what it is. But that's going to do it for this live stream, guys. We were able to actually make a legit playoff run again, even though we had an inferior roster after winning the Super Bowl in the first year of the rebuild. So now we're going into 2024. We have a roster that's now started looking pretty different than when I first started up this rebuild and this franchise for the Browns. So hopefully we can be a playoff team once again. If we can't, then I'm going to go ahead and end this rebuild and basically get the feeling that we're at the end of the road. If we make the playoffs, I'll continue it for maybe one more season. But after that, that'll be it. As far as other stuff that's going to come on the channel, I still have that Dallas Cowboys updated roster season that I'm doing, and I will pick that back up. Probably after I finish this rebuild, franchise that I'm doing with the Browns. Just like I said, I wanted to get in one more kind of rebuild series before I move on to Madden 24, which will come out in August. And my final live stream will probably be early in August. Is going to be the Hall of Fame game where I'm going to play with the Browns against the Jets with updated rosters and Aaron Rodgers, because football season is going to start up right around during that week. Hopefully, people like Gallery will join me for that. By the way, shout out to Gallery Domini. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate the comments, man. And I will see you guys in the next video. I'm more than likely going to pick up this Browns franchise once again next week when I get some time off on Monday and Tuesday, because those are my days off during the week. And I took a 3-week break from doing any live streaming or anything like that during my days off Monday and Tuesday, but that's because work has been very hectic. I don't want to really get personally into work, but based on some things that are going on in my life right now, things may be looking to change. Not really like where I live, but maybe where I work. I work in news. I'm a photographer, photojournalist at a TV station, which can be pretty tough. We're dealing with a lot of staffing shortages right now due to people being sick or being unable to just work because of other personal things that are going on in their life, and I've had to pick up more work. My schedule has actually gotten to the point on weekends where I have to work the late shift because we don't have somebody else that can work during those hours to help put together the shows, to edit videos, because unfortunately that's another task that I have to do with this station. It's just another thing that I have to do, and things are getting kind of tough right now. It's been a tough summer so far, but that's why I'm playing video games. It's an escape for me, and I love football. I love playing the Madden games. I love franchise. I've always been a franchise type of guy anyway, so I'll pick this back up next week, and hopefully I can get the Browns into the playoffs once again with a roster that is even worse than last year's. And this could very well be it, because I don't know if we're going to be able to retain guys like Nick Chubb, who's in the final year of his contract, who's the face of the Browns, if you ask me right now. So, thank you guys very much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next week. Take care.